Hello and welcome back. We just finished befriending Carcat, which swerved in a direction I did not expect. In both routes, in fact, both the successful route and the failure route ended very differently from how I would have expected. So let's jump into, and we also got that nice title drop. People like us, mutants, red bloods, and now we have Kanaya insisting. Perhaps a little too defensively, I have plenty of friends. So, this just reminds me how, I did watch for a good long while there the Voxus Let's Read of Homestuck, which was a lot of fun. And they've done some other Let's Read reads for other webcomics and the like. And it's weird hearing Kanaya's voice actress because the person they got to voice Kanaya has just this very weird, stilted cadence that sounds perfect for Kanaya. It, in fact, sounds so perfect for Kanaya that I thought she was, doing it on purpose. But then when you listen to her doing other things, she just sounds like that. And so she is Kanaya, apparently. They found Kanaya in real life and got her to voice Kanaya. Minda reads Fast Arrow Win. I don't know. I keep hearing about that. I probably should read that since everybody seems to love it so much. Anyway, Kanaya has plenty of friends, I'm sure. You're learning more about yourself every day. For example, while you already knew that friendship was everything, you're now realizing that staying with your friends is not a priority. God damn, man. At least that must be right, because you keep leaving friends and starting over again. Why are you doing this? Probably a deeply held value of some kind? That makes sense. That is a good question, actually, because of course, last time around, we eventually discovered that, MSPA readers' obsession with making friends was actually like an induced thing by Doc Scratch. But presumably Doc Scratch isn't influencing our behavior this time around, so why are we going up to the same shenanigans of befriending as many people as quickly as possible? I don't know. Anyway, you're ready to meet more friends. And the only place you've seen new people recently has been Jade's Dream Planet. You zap on over there. This time, something is different. It seems to be a different part of day than before, and the overhead clouds that previously served as fluffy ambient backdrop are now alive with images. Meteors striking a dark world, a planet covered in sugar mountains dotted with goofy giant teapots, a young gray-skinned alien girl running around catching frogs. These must be the clouds Jade was referencing. The ones she said could never be wrong. This time they're talking about the troll session. Hi, kitty. Well, you can take guidance from them too. You've trusted more dubious things than clouds. You zoned in on that frog girl with the short haircut and the red skirt. Time for the zappy thing. It's always night on Troll Planet, at least when folks are out and about. But it's not usually this dark. You carefully head out. Cat, don't play with my mic. You carefully head out to start exploring your surroundings and immediately run into a wall face first. Okay, you're getting your bearings now. You've ended up in some kind of closet. I'm sorry. I am apparently a 12-year-old. You refrain from making a hackneyed joke about it? Well, MSPA reader refrains from making a joke about it, but Minda certainly does not. They probably don't even have that cultural metaphor here. And the noise you made that elicited an answering whelp of surprise in the room outside. You hear footsteps approaching you, and then somebody yanks the door open. It's an interesting look with the hair. Hello. What the fuck? Opening the door has allowed a beam of bright sunlight to fall across your face. You feel instinctively that the light is something to avoid. You hold your hands up to shield your face, and then remember that your hands are also made of skin, and whimper. The heat is doing its best to fry you, like a vampire in a movie. You are sure that idle thought will not end up having any relevance to this troll girl story whatsoever. What are you... Did you just wander in here, or like... What? Oh, poor Kanaya is so confused. Something like that, you tell her. Cringing away from the light. You get the feeling this girl is not going to fall for the old mailman gambit? Mail troll? You tell her you know one of her other friends. Yeah, one of her other friends. Yeah, we also stranded him in another dimension, but let's not talk about that right now. Who? Wait. Is it Carcat? Yes! I knew it. He makes friends with all kinds. Well, I obviously can't kick you out, Brett. I obviously cannot kick you out right now. You don't seem to be able to handle the sun. So I guess you better stick around until at least nighttime. You could easily zap to nighttime, but this is giving you an in, so instead you agree. No problem. You can just hang out in this closet. It's fine. It's a lovely closet. I know we just met, but you are being kind of weird. You hope it's the kind of weird that eventually becomes charming. You don't say that, though. Just think it. You know the barrier between your words and thoughts is ambiguous at best, but for real. Anyway, you have no obligation to skulk around in my war-refined assets chamber. I have a solution. Perhaps pulling the shades, maybe? No. Why would I deprive my plants of life-giving sunlight for a fragile-skinned creature I've never met before? It is another solution. A minute later, you are dressed in a floor-length gown of emerald velvet, with long sleeves, a high neckline, and a dramatic hood to pull over your head. The dress does nothing for the heat, but it effectively shields you from sunlight. That's nice. There you go. All swaddled up like a baby, you joke. The troll just gives you a level look. Clearly you've stumbled on a cultural misalignment. Even though she's the one who hasn't even heard of a baby, she stares at you until you start to feel embarrassed for knowing things that she doesn't know. She is very good at staring contests. What an amazing potential friend. Now out of the closet, you know now that joke won't land either. You look around the room. It is indeed covered with plants, as well as colorful bolts of fabric and half-finished sewing projects. Unlike Rose's knitting disarray, it does not give the impression of someone who has difficulty finishing things. This troll's room gives the impression of someone who enjoys, even excels, at having multiple irons in hot places. Or at least she thinks she does. That's... you're wrong troll you're thinking of there, buddy. She seems to have been on her computer thing when you zapped in, because her chat client is flashing insistently. You try to peer at the open window, but she hits a button that makes the projection disappear, a delicate green flush rising to her cheeks. No need to look at that. It's a very Rose maneuver. Just shove those journals under the bed. Guiltily, you remember spying on Rose. When she called you out, you thought for a second that your chances of being her friend had run out. Like if there was a universe where you became her friend, the one where you didn't. You'd stumbled clumsily into the wrong one. The bad one, if you will. But luckily, everything turned out fine. Maybe you could get away with it again? Plus, this troll doesn't even know about your powers yet. Not like Rose did. She would have no reason to suspect you. Interesting. People are singing Steven Universe songs in chat. Is she talking to Vriska? She could be. We'll find out in a minute. Let's spy on her communications. You excuse yourself to the... You don't know what they call it here? The necessaries? You wave your hand in a vaguely embarrassed way, and the troll gets it. Out of her sight, you zap back to a few minutes ago, just outside the doors of the room you're in now. And then you burn to death because... Oh, wait, no, you are still wearing clothes. You wait until you hear the thump of yourself arriving in the closet and the troll abandoning her desk. Then you quickly zap into the room and read her current chat. It just cannot escape my notice that the last 3 times you've contacted me, it was to ask if I finished your dress yet. Under these circumstances, I find it trying to believe that you want it for no particular reason. Oh, she is talking to Vriska! How about that? I wish you would just tell me why it is so important. Of course you do. Fussy Fangs always has to have a reason for everything. Maybe I just want a present from my Moirail? Did you think of that? Are you too busy fussing around in your fuss block? Am I being nice, or do you not think I could be nice sometimes? Maybe I'm being nice, or do you not think I can be nice sometimes? I know you can be. When you want, sort of. We are Moirails again now then. Yesterday you said defining our relationship was something only lame dorks would do. Yeah, my Moirail is a super lame dork. That's you, Fangface! It's just that I cannot help but notice that I'm your Moirail again right now, when you want something from me. You notice a lot, don't you? You're always noticing something. I bet you would be shocked to know how much you don't see. You don't even know half of what I have going on. If I have ever pretended to know what is going on with you, please allow me to apologize for such a gross misrepresentation of my reality. Whatever. Can you just tell me if you finished it yet? Hello? Kanaya? The log ends there. You zap back before past you is done changing into the dress and re-enter the room. The troll, Kanaya, is back at her lunchbox computer, typing furiously. You have to handle this situation delicately. She can't know you are spying on her, since you've already said that you know Karkat. Since you already said that you know Karkat, you hedge your bets on all of them sharing the same friend group. You ask her carefully if she happens to know if she happens to know your other friend as well. Arachnid's grip? The little green flush darkens Kanaya's cheeks again. She bites her lips, showing one kind of adorable fang. Yes, I know her. Why? You're sure that helping Kanaya figure out her situation with this girl is the key to earning her... Ooh. This is like the opposite of like the games you teased before, where it's like, oh, we got Vriska! Surprise Vriska! Surprise Vriska making Minda happy in the Kanaya stream. Very good. You're sure that helping Kanaya figure out her situation with the Spider Girl is the key to earning your friendship? A big, juicy interpersonal conflict to solve that has been dangled in front of you, and nothing makes friends more reliably. That doesn't sound accurate, but we'll just roll with this and see how it goes. But then again, you don't really know anything about this other troll. You don't even know her name, just her handle. Can you really be of use to Kanaya? Especially when your knowledge of the girl is based on a foundation of lies? Is this the right way to go? It's like, boy howdy, you may not know enough. It's like, oh, if only I were there to help MSPA Reader, because you know what? Yes, I did just put the word spider in that sentence where it didn't exist. Very good. If I were there, I could totally help with that. It's like, okay, so this is Vriska. Here's what you need to know about her. Here are her insecurities. This is her mom. She's terrible. We should squish her. That would help Vriska's life immensely. Someone is training a Venonat right now, and it's level 28 with 78 HP and 38 defense. Nice. Offer to help her with AG. Oh, this is gonna be weird. I think this will fail, but I'm just very curious to see how this goes. You gesture wildly. Oh no. Oh no. Oh boy. You gesture wildly. You and this girl, whose name you totally know, go way back. In fact, if Kanaya wants some help figuring things out with her, you could definitely help. You're an observant person. This part is true. And you want to help. This is true also. Oh, God. Oh, man. Kanaya thinks this over, looking skeptical. What could you do to help? She's just impossible. I'm not going to argue with that. Everyone knows that already. I'm not breaking new ground about Vriska here. Vriska, that must be her name. Despite Kanaya's outward frustration, you keep sensing some kind of guilty affection here. You don't know what a moirail is. How could you? You never heard that word before, but it conjures a feeling inside you, a vague sense of warmth and comfort, and for some reason, a dark room and the smell of popcorn. Once I robbed a bank with AG, it was great. Anyway, it's clearly some kind of intimate relationship, and Kanaya's feelings are all wrapped up in it. You know just what to do in that kind of situation. Oh. Go on. She needs to tell Vriska how she feels. Oh, do go on. This is going to be so... You expect Kanaya to brush this off. She hasn't exactly been Miss Emotional Openness so far, and she looks like she's about to. But then she wavers. To your surprise, she lets out a heavy sigh, her shoulders slumping. What would be the point? She's not even into the relationship we have now. There's no way she'd want to take it in a more crimson direction. Oh yeah, this was a whole... Oh, I almost forgot about this whole weird dynamic between Vriska and Kanaya. Like, and actually, it probably, in a way, like... Okay, I have a tangent to talk about Rose, but that can wait till the end. But like there is a very rarely explored there are a number of similarities between Rose and Vriska, which don't get explored very often. But they probably have something to do. But they probably fed into how Kanaya ended up getting with Rose by the end of the game. By the end of the Homestuck, I mean, because, like, she had this thing for Vriska, it didn't work out, so she kind of moved on to Rose, and it's all very weird and interesting. But anyway, Crimson Direction. Yeah, Kanaya has a type, and it's the dangerous girls. Kanaya has a thing for dangerous girls. That's kind of her type. Clearly, these feelings have worn her down so much, her spiky defenses have weakened. You don't want to cheer on someone's vulnerabilities, but, well, it's hard to forge a friendship without them. That's a weird way of putting it, but okay. You ask if she's sure about that. Well, no. I can't even tell if she's sincere. She makes serious things into jokes, and jokes into big dramas. I thought she started calling me her moirail as a joke. But she told everyone else about it, too. She didn't even ask me what I wanted. And now I don't know how to talk to her about it. Every conversation we have gets so antagonistic. I'm not interested in that quadrant with her. Sometimes it feels like our relationship is just an aggregation of shallow and insecure hostility and insincere hostilities. Despite the unfamiliar alien words, this teen romantic flailing is common enough among all species. You nod sympathetically, but you point out Kanaya isn't happy right now. So what would she have to lose if she pressed the issue? Kanaya gives you this even scathing gaze again. And what is your personal interest in my quadrants? Karkat's friend. Whoops, you pushed it too far. All your recent successes have made you cocky. You revert to barefaced honesty and tell her you want to get to know her better. I have plenty of friends already. And I don't even like some of them. But I will think about your unsolicited and unwelcome advice. Advice from a stranger whose presence you are tolerating solely to not be responsible for the death of an innocent is well known to be the best kind of advice. That's about the best you can ask for. What's she fidgeting for? You shut up and sit quietly while Kanaya goes back to her activities, sewing and tending to her plants with a big chainsaw she seems to have pulled out of nowhere. Oh, that's her holding a chainsaw. Someone in chat just said, when MSPA reader meets Vriska, they're going to be like, this is the person I pretended to know? Oh no! Yeah, that sounds about right. Oh yeah, we're great friends with Vriska. We go way back. Best buddies. There's no negative connotations with that. Finally, she huffs a sigh and throws the chainsaw down into the floor. It disappears again, but a gold little tube rolls away from where it landed. Kanaya stalks back to her magic computer lunchbox. She's emanating such a determined air that you don't dare to address her. Maybe she's forgotten about you? If so, it's to your advantage, because Kanaya's projects her windows in a very visible way that she doesn't tell you not to look, and she doesn't tell you not to look this time. Well. Grim Auxiliaries begin. Oh boy. What? There's a promo for this Pesterquest that I should react to? What? Okay, yeah, that sounds like a thing to watch. Okay. Here we go. More Vriska conversation. Kind of psyching myself up for it. You know how you basically refuse to be straightforward with me? You know how you and I use this metaphor with full consciousness of its on the nose nature? Always weave a web of intricate. You and I. Okay, hang on. Let's back it up. You know how you and I use this metaphor with full consciousness of its on the nose nature? Always weave a web of intricate emotional misdirection, and basically ask in the most infuriating way possible. What? Slow down. What are you talking about? Why did you start calling me your Moirail? Was it because you actually had these feelings for me? Or did it suit your purposes somehow? What if I started calling you my mate sprite? Would that make it a reality? Is that how it works? You just say things and assume they will happen, like you said instead of talking about it with the other person involved. What? That time I meant you in an abstract and general sense, not specifically you. Wait, are you saying you want to be mate sprites? You know I'm one of the few of us who still likes you. God damn. The sunny vampire girl can throw some shade. Shots fucking fired. Ugh. I'm one of the few of us who still likes you. You know everyone wonders why I still talk to you at all. And sometimes I do too, after everything you've done. I think in this situation the evidence for concomitant feelings on my part is compelling. I do not think our so-called Moira allegiance is satisfying enough to account for my continued attachment to you. Any outside observer could perceive as much. Wow! I think there was a confession somewhere buried under all that insulting language. You know what, Meanie Fangs? Let's do it. Let's be mate sprites. Do not mock me. I'm not. Jeez, do you see how unfair you're being? Vriska, be more straightforward. Vriska, talk clearly about your feelings. Define our relationship. And then when I do it, this is what I get. Let's flip red. Why not? Oh man. Face. Kanaya confesses by objectively listing the evidence of her being into Vriska. Wait, really? Yes! Oh my god. Kanaya slams a lunchbox shut and turns to you. She's even more flustered than she was before, and you can't tell if she's freaking out or thrilled. Maybe even she doesn't know. Listen, I have to go somewhere. You can let yourself out, right? Do not steal anything from me. You open your mouth, about to suggest that you could teleport where she needs to go, but she rushes past you down the stairs. And she's gone. Dang. You've been getting really good mileage lately out of being the person to unite distant friends. Lousy goddamn stupid independent action. You get the feeling following her wouldn't go over well either. Kanaya probably needs some privacy right now. I'll be in my bunk. A lesser friendship aspirant might give up at this point, but your unique skills have honed in on one thing. This relationship is happening because of your advice. Surely once things settle down, Kanaya will remember this and turn to you, ready to embrace you, and rain down thanks and praise for your good work. Yeah. You're not about to wait around for it here. You zap ahead a couple of days. Oh, good. Oh dear. This is... Alright, let's see how this train wreck happened. No Kanaya. Nothing... Okay. No Kanaya. Nothing in the room indicates that Kanaya has even been back here yet. You try a couple more days. Still no Kanaya. Zap again. Oh, I didn't even notice that, hang on. I didn't even notice that Vriska's dress was back there. I should have gotten rid of the, Did the spider eat her? Oh, shit, the spider probably ate her. Fuck. Forgot about that. Oh, dear. You zap again. Now you're a week out, and the brown edges on some of these leaves suggest that Kanaya has been at her new girlfriend's house this entire time. You're about to give up when you hear the door slam downstairs. Oh, oh dear. Yeah, here we go. Kanaya storms up the winding staircase, stopping dead when she sees you. Oh, great, just what I need. Someone I don't know here in a delicate emotional time to witness my compromised state. Whenever I'm on the precipice of romantic disaster, I always think to myself, I wish a deformed stranger was in my house refusing to leave, just to bear witness to my inelegant suffering. Okay, wow, that was harsh. You're beginning to think your strategy is not going to pan out. Never one to be deterred easily, you cautiously ask her if she wants to talk about it. Oh, boy. She puts her face in her hands. You know what? You're probably the only person who thought this was remotely a good idea. And therefore probably the only one I can complain to. Everybody else saw this coming, I'm sure. As outcomes go, this one was not particularly stealthy. That's accurate. When she looks up, she doesn't look angry anymore, just upset. Oh no. Oh no. I do not know why I thought that in becoming my mate sprite, she would somehow start acting differently than the way she has always been. Than the way she always has. Relationships are hard. Relationships are hard and nobody understands? Well, no. I mean, they are a very common form of social interaction. I think most people, especially past the age when their genetic contribution is legally required, understand. Or face certain culling. Okay, never mind that. You were trying to do a thing, and it clearly didn't work. So, things did not work out with Vriska. You could say that. At first, it was everything I wanted. She's right, you know. She can be nice sometimes. But then she just started ordering me around. Like I had to do what she said because I was her mate sprite. Like maybe the reason she agreed in the first place was because she wanted that leverage. You know she's upset, but she isn't getting visibly emotional. Instead, as she talks, her eyes narrow and her voice grows icy with anger. She grows very still, her muscles held tight. Taut. And she kept trying to use me to get back in with her friends who sensibly dropped her already. Like Karkat and Terezi. Although I cannot believe I still have any cash with them after so obviously taking my leave of my senses enough to date her. Even Terezi wasn't stupid enough for that. It felt like she just wanted me to like her so she could exploit me. Maybe because she doesn't have enough other friends. So she had to get the most out of me. Her voice is trembling with anger now. Geez, that's rough. Honestly, it sounds to you like Kanaya dodged a bullet. When you first saw that Kanaya had a crush on this girl, you kind of assumed that someone as composed and rational as Kanaya would be drawn to someone who would compliment her well, but you've just watched her walk into a train wreck. Well, encouraged her to. It's probably good she broke up with Vriska. Oh dear. Oh no. I didn't. Oh, well. Bet you're right. She stalks over to her husk top and throws the top open so violently it nearly breaks. She opens a window and starts typing so hard her claws hit the key. Typing so hard her claws hit the key so hard that one of them pops off and flies to the ground. Oh dear. Uh, you know, Vriska, I didn't just want to date you. I wanted you to feel the same things I felt and treat me like a mate sprite. And whatever this isn't what I wanted. Excuse me? What are you saying? But Kanaya slams the screen down and turns away. Then she puts her hands over the face again and bursts into tears. Oh no. You can't help but feel a little awkward. There? Kanaya glares at you. You know this is your fault, right? I do not think you have shown yourself to be competent enough in this area to try to fix things now. You can please just leave me alone. Yeah, you're not going to be able to turn this around. Leaving probably is the best thing you can do for Kanaya now. You nod sadly and zap the fuck out of there. You didn't help! Oh. Even Terezi wasn't stupid enough for that yet. Well, I'm still not... yeah, it's like chat. That was something from chat, was that Terezi wasn't stupid enough to date Vriska yet. And I'm honestly not... I don't think that's where... I mean, they're going with this. It's like, I mean... Well, first of all, like, in Homestuck proper, like, the most they ever... The closest they ever got was Moirails in later Act 6 after the retcon. And if by some miracle Terezi and Vriska do end up back together again post-epilogues, which I do believe is a thing that will happen eventually somehow. Like I said this before, but like I think that their relationship is more like sisters. Like they've been called the Scourge Sisters from the beginning, and I think that's why. I think that is exactly why they have so much trouble figuring out their relationship, because they have a relationship like a pair of sisters, but they live in a society where that relationship isn't really a concept they have, and so they're kind of making it up as they go, and it leads to all the drama that goes on between Vriska and Terezi. Anyway, so that was a thing. Okay, let's load it up. So I'm guessing that... So since we had a connection there, I'm guessing that this is the quick game over. Alright. No, even if you don't get caught, it's just not a good way to begin a friendship. Much fairer to start on even footing. Besides, you already have an in. You ask the troll how she knows Karkat. She looks bored by this conversation starter. Sorry, but I was actually kind of busy when you came in. I'm not going to consign you to fiery death outside in the light, but I would appreciate some personal time. John tells Vriska he's sorry, but he's leaving her for Terezi. I would appreciate some personal time. Sure, you say. Of course. The troll gives you a suspicious look until you turn away enough that she can be assured of privacy. She goes right back to chatting with her friends. After a while, she gets up and starts working on a dress she's sewing. She keeps getting frustrated, ripping it out and redoing it to get it perfect. She's not being rude to you, but she's ignoring you. You attempt to engage a few more times, and she keeps answering politely, but she just refuses to be pulled into shenanigans from which a lasting friendship could form. After several hours, the sun slips below the horizon and leaves the world in twilight. The troll girl yawns. Well, it should be safe for you to leave now. Goodbye. She nicely but firmly directs you out the door. What the fuck is that face? You know what? Actually, you know what that reminds me of? It reminds me of like the one... This reminds me of like one particular expression from My Little Pony of like... What was her name? Silver Spoon, I think. The like bully, the pony who was always the one who was always bullying the Cutie Mark Crusaders, where she was like, you're like that look. And yes, somebody in chat, you missed Karkat already. We are. You have not missed the good ending to. Kanaya's route yet. We just got 2 of the bad routes. Okay, so that is both bad routes, both bad endings for Kanaya. Let's Let's get her a therapist. A tentacle therapist, if you will. Alright. Offer to help her with AG, which I knew that was going to be bad. I just knew it. I mean, it's... Ugh. I mean, you know I love Vriska, but you gotta handle her with all of the... You have to handle her with all of the caution, and that is just not MSPA readers' thing. Alright, let's back off. No reason, you say. Just curious. Kanaya gives you a suspicious look. Okay. Well, I'm kind of in the middle of something. You can just wait. You can just while away at a time until it gets dark. Sure. You watch her for a few more minutes as she finishes up her conversation, and then starts working on things around her room. But having seen what you've seen, you are determined to find some way to help her. If you can't fix her interpersonal problems, maybe you can figure out something else she'd enjoy? Filled with investigative spirit, you start to gather evidence. Snoop. You start to snoop. Spying got you this far? Spying got you this far. Spying's great. You rifle through Kanaya's bookshelf. She has a number of sewing pattern books, which you assume must be some kind of whimsically gruesome twist congruent with the rest of the world building on this planet, but pretty much just look like sewing pattern books. There is one thing on the shelf that, in your own language, it's not a book, but a stack of printed out pages bound together in a distinctly homemade way. Oh, this is our in. It says, this is the thing. We're gonna introduce Kanaya to her hero, and it's gonna be Rose, and they're gonna meet, and it's gonna be yes. It says Spur Beta Walkthrough at the top, and it's covered with familiar erudite prose. You're pretty sure the events described in this document never happened in the timeline you're currently making, but maybe whatever source Kanaya got this from is not strictly bound to one timeline. Now that he mentions it, I am stopping to just think about the ramifications of that, and this is kind of weird how, like, this is a book that Rose will write in the future of a timeline that we're not in. Like this book, the Spur Beta walkthrough should not exist in where we are right now. You know, because... But, you know, paradox space is a hell of a thing. No, the reader does know Rose's chum handle because he was spying on her computer before, remember? You're pretty sure the events described in this document never happened in the timeline you're currently making, but maybe whatever source Kanaya got this from is not strictly bound to one timeline. Yeah, it's like I was reading chat there. By the way, chat said that MSPA reader would not know what Rose's chum handle was, and I pointed out that, yes they do, because they've seen her chatting. Okay. There are a number of books featuring shiny white figures, mostly women. Featuring shiny white figures, mostly women, with prominent fangs and variously colored blood dripping from their cruel and elegant mouths. They are all dressed in an explosion of brightly colored fabrics. Something about their sparkles strikes you as deeply, strangely familiar. You must just be thinking of vampires. There's no reason you would know anything about whatever the rainbow blood imbibing troll equivalent is. Most of these colors feature a swooning troll of varying genders, clearly about to have their throat torn out sexily. Many of the rainbow vampires are being menaced by brave heroes, all wielding chainsaws. A loud buzz makes you look up. You can't help but notice that Kanaya is tending to her topiaries with a large chainsaw of her own. That's a neat little thing. Kanaya is both vampire and vampire hunter. Okay. Okay. You're putting this all together. The bright colors around her house, the choice of weapon, the love of sunlight. Kanaya's heart's desire is clearly to date a sexy vampire? Maybe that's what AG is? Oh my god. I mean, there you could I mean, a vampire, you know, an AU or Vriska is a vampire, like not a rainbow drinker, like an actual vampire. Rainbow drinker. Actually, either rainbow drinker Vriska AU, or just straight up vampire Vriska AU, or better yet, like Halloween AU, where all of the trolls are different kinds of movie monsters, and Vriska's a vampire for some reason, and so is Kanaya, obviously, because I don't know, whatever. You wonder if you could make this happen for her. Maybe on this planet, it's not just a fantasy. You clear your throat to get Kanaya's attention, and then casually wonder aloud if Elturni has any kind of non-living creatures. Oh, you mean the undead? Yes, the undead. Where might one find the undead? It is not difficult. They tromp past my hive in their hordes every day. This is okay. I'm good that this came up because like this is a thing that where like zombie trolls exist, but they've only been mentioned like the one time. And it was also in this exact context where they wander about during the day around Kanaya's hive. So what the fuck is up with troll zombies? Why do they exist? How do they exist? Why have we never seen one? I don't know. Do they? Yeah. Do zombie trolls only hang out in this area, in this specific area? I don't know. They try to pass my hive in their hordes every day, slavering and so on. Trying to get in sometimes. It's all coming together. This must be the root of Kanaya's fascination. You start to form a plan. For the next few hours, you keep a keenly trained eye on the window. Sure enough, within an hour, a group of strange, shambling creatures lurches into view. You yell and point out the window, drawing Kanaya's attention, and then zap yourself out there in front of the horde. What? I'm sorry, but I was just dumbfounded by how stupid MSPA Reader is for a second there. Wow. This is a good plan. You can't spell dumbfounded without dumb. Now that you're close up, you can see that these guys are not exactly the debonair creatures of the night from Kanaya's book covers. They're more like zombies. Big, slow, stumbling things. Half of them falling apart. Still, needs must. You're going to net one of them for You're going to net one of them for Kanaya. I can't. I just can't. You stand your ground as they lurch towards you, trying to select the most alluring, the most alluring zombie. I don't know. Oh my god. Oh, this broke me. MSPA Reader just broke me. Somebody needs to make an MSPA Reader misses the point bingo card. You stand your ground as they lurch towards you, trying to select the most alluring. Suddenly Kanaya's at your side, out of breath from running. She's wielding her chainsaw. Are you actually bereft of sense? You don't fight the undead. This is suicidal. You were trying to fight them. But there's no time to explain that, because they attack you anyway. A great monstrous arm backhands you to the ground, and monster claws tear through your gown and into your shoulder, lifting you by it. The creature opens a mouthful of more teeth than you thought could fit inside there. Then you're falling. You hit the ground and roll, dirt grinding into the wounds on your arm. The top half of the creature lands next to you, twitching slightly. Kanaya's chainsaw gleams in its black blood. She trolls and bisects another undead thing, but then a third bear hugs her from behind and lifts her, its maw open wide. You scramble to your feet and throw yourself at Kanaya, grabbing her kicking leg and squeezing your eyes shut to concentrate. You zap. Please don't let the monster come with you. You open your eyes. The monster did not come with you? Good. Only its arms did? Holy shit! That's... Did we just... Does MSPA Raider's teleportation ability have like a portal cut? Is that what happened? Kanaya shakes herself a little, free from their disembodied embrace. Blood pools on her carpet. She does something to get rid of her chainsaw, and suddenly she's holding a tube of lipstick, which she opens. She slicks a fresh coat of black onto her lips. You slowly catch your breath. You're about to offer an apology, but something makes you pause. Kanaya is staring at the pools of blood. She cautiously, guiltily, leans down and swipes a finger in the mess, and then she brings it to her mouth and delicately licks. Oh my god, this is... I did not expect Kanaya's route, of all things, to be the funniest fucking one. Oh... Also did not... Can't believe we're seeing, like... This is like an HD remaster of this classic MSP Homestuck face. Oh... Yeah, we just telefragged a zombie bear. Blah! She makes a face and spits the blood out. Then she looks up at you, flushing emerald with embarrassment. Oh, you think you made a mistake. Kanaya doesn't want to date a vampire. She wants to be a vampire. There we go. Okay, give NSPA Reader a round of applause. Pretend you did not see that. You smile cautiously. It's okay, you tell her. You've embarrassed yourself by your foolish actions. Yes. Why did you do that? Also, how did you teleport? We will be coming to that one. Do not mistake me. But I cannot understand why anyone would. She does not use. Kanaya doesn't use contract. Well, I mean, she does rarely, but it's weird to have Kanaya use contractions for some reason. But I cannot understand why anyone would run straight into a horde of undead. You look down. Well, it's just that when she said undead, you were picturing something else. Other kind of creature that was dead, and now isn't, and is a little more appealing. Understanding dawns. Oh, I see. Well, that's understandable. Vampires are just so cool. They're so cool and hot, and it would make sense for anyone to want to be one. I do not know what a vampire is, but I believe that we are on the same page. Maybe I misjudged you. Perhaps you have greater intelligence and finer taste than I originally inferred. Oh no, does she think we want to date a vampire now? Maybe, you say. And you bet anyone with taste would find Kanaya's daring, unconventional aesthetic intriguing. Even someone like the tentacle therapist. Kanaya freezes. What? How do you know? Did you just... I mean, who is that? I mean, She clears her throat uncomfortably. Whoever that is, I hope you are right. And also, well... She looks embarrassed again. Thank you for saying so. You nod, wondering if you should say more. But you should keep that. But you should keep that friend's secrets, just like you are going to keep Kanaya's vampire fantasy secret, because that's what friends do. No, introduce them. Introduce them. Introduce them. Bonded for life. Oh. Oh, damn it. Maybe next round. I don't know. God damn it. Come on, you expedite the shipping of Carcat and Dave, but you don't let... Just... Give me my rosemary! Ah! Okay, well, before we depart, I've been told that I should really watch the promo for this volume. And I also want to check in on the achievements, because these have been happening. So, John, a shorter day, much shorter than the long day he had in Homestuck. You convinced John not to play a game. This probably won't have any far-reaching narrative consequences. Rose with great power, you helped Rose with her mom's alcoholism. The method was surely foolproof. Cryptid McWhiskers. You participate in the time-honored tradition of renaming someone else's familiar. This was a fun one because this was like an optional thing in Rose's route, which is fun. Dave. Bread. Gotten. You and Dave sampled ambrosia. The happiest girl in the world. You and Jade hosted the world's greatest slumber party. Hell yes, it did. The lack of apocalypse was your favorite part. Expedited shipping? The Peta would be proud. You bought a car. Got to meet some new friends. That's hilarious. And tentacle therapy. You assured Kanaya that liking Dracula's is really cool. Alright, so yeah, I mentioned this at the beginning of the Carcat video, but my new prediction, based on the fact that Carcat and Kanaya were the first two trolls, is that next fortnight will probably be Terezi and Tavros, because those were the next two trolls that started interacting with the kids in Act 4, as opposed to the order that they were all introduced in Hivement. Also, I have been told that I should really react to the promo for this episode before I depart. But in order to do that, I'm going to need to set up my capture a little bit. Oh, no. Okay. No, that's not right. But I need to actually set up my thing to capture the desktop. Because right now... Yeah, because I got a new computer, like, a couple months ago. And so I haven't... hang on. What am I doing? So yeah, I got a new computer a few months ago, and haven't... there's the remove button. Yes. And when I set up OBS, I've only been setting up OBS for, like, the things I've been streaming, right? So I have a streaming setup for, like, my camera picture, my streaming a video game, but I don't have a desktop capture yet. There we go. That's better. So I need a... Okay, so there's that. Whoop. You either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become a villain, I see as the tweet. So hang on. Where am I? What am I doing? Victory Street. In before all of these routes following this one, our MSPA reader trying to introduce Kanaya to Rose and failed due to increasingly convoluted and implausible shenanigans. You think Vriska will either be the 8th route released or part of Volume 8? Well... 8th released, actually, no, because right now we're on track for the 8th released to be either Tavros or Terezi, so it's likely that she would be in Volume 8. Yeah, it's like she could definitely be in Volume 8. Like, I think that tracks. No. Volume 8, that would make her one of the last trolls introduced, probably. Huh. I don't know. Trying to figure out how to make Vriska's 8 theme work. Anyway. Okay, so. There we go. Okay. Also, give me a video. Video capture device. Existing. Webcam. There you go. Now you can actually see what I react to. Yay. Alrighty. So yeah, let's switch to this real quick. Transition. There we are. Oh, that's not... That's not what that button was supposed to do. Oh god, it's Carcalicious? Seriously? And then Undertale text. What? Toby Fox made this, didn't he? That's why it's the Undertale text? Am I right? Oh, dear. Dear, dear. Anyway. Okay, so that was a thing. It's too quiet, yeah. Yeah, sorry, I had that really quiet, just because that was for my... just because... Sorry. I turned up the volume for myself, but not for the chat there. Anyway, so that's that. That was quite a lot of fun. Volume 8, Route 8 would be the 8th troll. Volume 8, Route 2 would be the 8th troll. I don't know. But anyway, so yeah, like I said, I'm guessing Toby Fox had something to do with that, since they added the Undertale text at the end there. That seems like the kind of thing that they would do, that someone on the Pesterquest staff would do. Anyway, so that was that. We got some... So yeah, that was a fun couple of routes. We got some heavy Dave Cat shipping. So a little ship tease of Kanaya and Rose. And an unexpectedly high amount of Vriska, which was exactly as painful as one would expect, but I loved it anyway. Because Vriska's a good pain. This is a good pain. So yeah, also I had I had that thought that I was sitting on before, which was that how Rose is similar to Vriska, which has gotten me thinking, like, this has been a thought that's been rallying around in my head for a couple weeks, where I feel like the epilogues would have made more sense if Rose was the villain instead of Dirk. You know, like if they swapped, and basically like Dirk could, like they basically, I'm imagining them just sort of swapping positions. You know, so like Rose was the one kind of leading Dirk into hell, I guess, wherever the fuck they're going. Cause unlike Dirk, like, well, I mean, there's like the hints of, it's like they're the hints of darkness with Dirk, but in Homestuck they never really feel all that serious. Like Rose, throughout the Homestuck, does have a history of dabbling in dark forces, quite literally. Like, she's the one who goes grimdark in Chapter 5? Yeah, it's in Chapter 5, yeah, Act 5, when she just goes completely grimdark on us. You know, Kanaya, fairly early on, compares her to Vriska, you know, and you know, when you think about just the implications of that, like, that kind of puts her in very, very dangerous company. You know, so Rose going to the dark side is not all that out of you know, and plus she's also, as a light player, she's constantly talking about the ramifications of their lives existing as a narrative, and that's the kind of thing that would and could drive her nuts, one would imagine. Whereas with Dirk, it's like, yeah, he has, like, you get shades of that, how he's, like, struggling to be a better person and isn't sure if he's a good person, you know, blah, blah, blah. But, like, on the whole, he's a good guy. Like, you don't, like, the line between Dirk as he appears in Homestuck and Dirk as he appears in the epilogue is, like, is not very straightforward. Whereas I feel like if Rose had fallen to the dark side, it'd be like, yeah, no, that seems like something that happened. Anyway, just an odd little musing before I wrap up the video. Quick question from the chat. What's up? Are you dyslexic? No, I just am not used to reading things out loud. You know, I mean, it's hard to read text for 2 hours straight, my dude. That's not dyslexia, that's just me talking on camera for a long time. Anyway, that's about all I got for tonight. We'll see each other again next fortnight for whatever trolls we get. Maybe Tavros and Terezi, maybe somebody else. They could surprise us. Who knows? Maybe Vriska and make me happy. Anyway, see ya. Good night.